I think it's also a really good idea to be really discerning about who you're following and who you're not following on social media, because this time of year can really bring out the best and the worst in all of us. I know, certainly speaking as a human being on planet Earth, that's how I feel about it anyway. Hello, it's Lucy Sheridan, the comparison coach here, bringing you a bit of glitter and sparkle for another video all about helping us cope better with the comparison that comes at the Christmas or festive period. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good one, and I hope you're also subscribed. We are bringing you fresh new videos every Sunday and every Wednesday. On to the topic of today, and this is really centered about how to handle the social media overwhelm, which invariably hits us every year. We've got people posting more than they would be normally. We're seeing a lot of what we think is behind the scenes of people's perfect lives. We've got notifications popping off like it's, you know, your phone's going to go into meltdown. It's really, really important we take care of ourselves, and we live very consciously at this time of the year too, just to really protect our mental health, because my goodness, social media can be just such a swamp to wade through at this time of year. I want to share with you my top tips and the things that I will be doing in this festive season so that social media remains a fun place to hang out, where I can still see golden retriever videos and doesn't become a place I want to avoid like the plague. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is turn off notifications. You simply do not need to see when your best mate has, posted about her amazing vegan Christmas dinner and ruining your own Christmas dinner that you're having. Turn off notifications. There's nothing that you're really going to miss that you wouldn't get in normal kind of swipe time. So turn off those notifications, because you just don't need to be turning over your phone and saying bing, 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 bing when you're trying to be at a party and hang out with your friends or get some work done to that tight deadline that hasn't moved, even though it's the festive period. So turn off those notifications and take back your power about when you are being updated, so that you can keep your focus and stop being so distracted over the period. I think it's also a really good idea to be really discerning about who you're following and who you're not following on social media, because this time of year can really bring out the best and the worst in all of us. I know, certainly speaking as a human being on planet Earth, that's how I feel about it anyway. And I'm sure I am as much an annoyer and an annoyance as I am easy to be annoyed at this time of year too. Remember, what we're seeing is the show reel of people's lives, especially at this time, and we're seeing a version of a truth, not the version of the truth. So if you need to unfollow your boss for a couple of weeks, then do it. If you need to hide your sister-in-law for a few weeks, then now's the time. Really be careful about who you're following and who you're not following at this time, which can be so sensitive and bring up so much stuff and difficulty and negativity, unfortunately. When it comes to our family and friends, it isn't all glitter and delicious champagne receptions. It certainly isn't. The next action point I want you to take on board is remember about be the change you want to see in the world. Have the feed you would want to look at too. So if you've got good things to say them. If you've got funny things to share, then share them. Really kind of be a positive force for good on social media at this time, which can just be so challenging and so overwhelming. Really show up as the person and the sharer that you would love to see on your feed as well, and be considerate of others at this time, because it makes such a big difference. Similarly, when it goes to kind of being conscious this time, we've been talking a lot here at Team Lucy HQ around muting Instagram stories. People will be kind of holding down that red button like their thumb's going to fall off in this coming festive period, capturing everything from arriving at the front door right through to kind of being in a tumble of opened presents, or kind of eating a turkey sandwich on the sofa later. And we just don't need to have all that in our faces. So if there is someone that is posting on Instagram stories way more than they used to, or a person that maybe is a trigger for you anyway is really amping it up, hold your finger over their icon, their face icon on Instagram story, then it'll say mute, and press mute, and they'll go away for a few days, and then when they come back you can mute them again if you want to. But that also builds in space and time for you to be really, really discerning about what's in your feed, because whether we like it or not, when we're seeing that content, it takes our attention, and it certainly can make all the difference to the day and the time that we're having over the festive period. Do you really need to see your ex-boyfriend's kids? Probably not. Do you really need to see kind of ex-colleagues going away and having amazing, parties? Probably not. So be really, really discerning about the content you're seeing in your feed, knowing that when you come back after the festive period, you can again apply the same attention and be really considered about what you are experiencing and what you're seeing there. It can be so overwhelming to be on social media at this time. So I really hope that you'll implement these tricks and tips I'm sharing with you, and just so you know, you can just really look after yourself. You're not going to miss out on anything. It's almost impossible to. So even if you're having to do a manual scroll and refresh, that's still better than having to compete with the notifications that are trying to be in your face all the time, or compete with the stories and the content, which is distracting you away from your experience, your festive period, what you want to feel, what you want to be part of over this time, which can just present so many great opportunities for really true connection. I hope this has been helpful for you and has armed you with some really easy to use tools that just work so very well to make sure social media is a fun place to be at this time of year. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, meet me in the comments. What do you think is going to be one of the kind of like lifesavers for you when it comes to social media at this time of the year? Thanks so much.